All right, let's jump right back into it. Energy prices around this country, and I'm not talking about gas, I'm talking about electricity. All these promises of renewable energy seem to be failing miserably. And the price of your electric bill, good Lord, just continues to go through the roof. Sarah Montalbano is the energy policy analyst at Always On Energy Research, where she researches and writes about energy and natural resources, also a senior fellow at the Independent Women's Forum Center for Energy and Conservation. Sarah, thank you for being here.
Steve, thanks for having me. My pleasure.
This renewable energy thing doesn't seem to be working out. The windmills and solar panels, wildly expensive, subsidized by taxpayers, and the electric bills around here keep going up. But the problem, one of the problems for me, are these big energy companies. I mean, they are controlling all of our energy costs with support from our elected leaders and others, and they've got, control over everything. And there's little we can do about it, it seems, because they keep asking for rate increases in Michigan and elsewhere and keep getting them, almost unabated. Where am I wrong?
I think you're on the money in a lot of this, and utilities are becoming the bipartisan boogeyman of this issue, this electricity bills issue, because a lot of them are awarded regulated monopolies. They are allowed to take what they would like to earn to the Public Utilities Commission in whatever state they're in, and they get to say, hey, this is our rate base. Here's what we're building. Here's what we're going to need to recoup from customers. And I think there's Republicans and Always On Energy Research have known this for quite a while, that there's a rate base and there's a rate of return. But I think Democrats are now starting to focus their messaging on it as well. And there's a lot of things that utilities are spending on, but a lot of it right now is wind and solar, because Michigan, as well as many other states, have renewable energy and clean energy standards, which mandate that rate base. So it's a tricky situation all around.
So why do we allow these monopolies to control our energy? Why is that the policy? And it's not just here, it's across this country. And I don't care what state you go to. You have these massive energy monopolies controlling, and like I say, going to the state legislature and saying, hey, we need a rate increase. Well, you just got one. We need another one, and another one, and another one. And these energy monopolies, they're thrilled when you bulldoze a coal-fired power plant, because they get to build a new plant and send you and I the bill, Sarah. They don't mind it a bit, do they?
Yeah, what tends to happen with this is that you retire the depreciated assets, the ones that ratepayers are no longer paying for. And then utilities propose, oh, we're going to do this more cleanly. We're going to build a solar plant. And so much of it is due to the fact that solar and wind have low capacity factors. They only run 25% of their maximum output on average. And that means you have to build way more of it. So utilities in a lot of states have not had any problem with clean energy mandates, even though I think in some ways they know that this is going to make it more difficult for them to deliver reliable electricity. It's been very much a gravy train, as we've seen in the past 5-10 years. And the unfortunate part is, for today's consumers, those decisions were made 5 or 10 years ago. They're still recouping costs from plants built 5 to 10 years ago. And so I think a lot of it is baked into the pie now. And when we're talking about monopoly utilities, they're often in some ways the least bad of a couple options. It's very difficult to have a fully competitive market for electricity, because you can't just say, oh, I'm going to, switch my lines that go to my house over to a new provider. It's simply so much infrastructure that this is a hot topic, I think, in the energy space, is what's the alternative? And I think no one really knows.
Yeah. So there's just no relief in sight for the consumer. That's the problem, sir. I don't see any relief. I don't see any actual work being done to say, hey, let's cool it on the rate increases. I mean, I don't know what the bottom line for DTE or consumers is, but I'm pretty sure they're not going broke, Sarah. I'm pretty sure they're in the black. Your thoughts?
I think it's difficult because politics is coming up with a couple of solutions, and from the Democrat side of things, at least in Michigan, it seems like there's proposals to freeze the rate increases or to freeze the rate of return on equity or to lower it even. And I think that solves the one side of the problem, or at least makes an attempt to. But it's a percentage, it's applied to a rate base. And frankly, the rate bases have exploded due to these clean energy mandates. And so I think a holistic solution on this would really look like pulling back on this mandated generation, let utilities build reliable, dispatchable plants, and to keep them for a long time, because that's how you get cheap energy for the consumer. The other part of that is simply to stop retiring older depreciated assets like coal-fired plants that have been on the books for a long time, and ratepayers have already paid them off. Let them continue to generate electricity, and you will find that things are a little better for the consumer. But it really is tough because so much of it has been baked in 5 to 10, 15 years ago even.
Yeah, as we head to, when are we, this clean energy thing by 2040? That's the path we're on as people flee Michigan and flee the regulation and flee the high prices. I think that we need to revisit these things. Sarah, good talking to you. Greatly appreciate you being here.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. What do you think about the energy policies of your state? Honestly, renewable energy? It renews their ability to bill you over and over again in an ever-increasing rate of return for those folks. But what about you? The politicians, well, they're not looking out for the folks, it doesn't seem to me. We can do better, and we should do better. I'll take a break and be back.